Midfield, goal, or backboard? Well, it doesn't make sense to play backboard, right? If there's going to be a backboard, it's going to be this player. So you could play defensively in the goal or optimistically risky through the midfield. Okay? Like if you want to play for this, I 100% see that as an option. But try not to be in between. Like you're rotating back, you see this, and you're making your decision right now. Am I playing risk off or risk on? Instead of risk off, then risk on. Because then this is like delayed play timing. And that's why it's like you go midfield, you go goal, or you go backboard. Don't be in between. Because what it will avoid, and I'll show what it avoids, is it avoids this. If you were in the midfield already, and you're feeling yourself, you're aggressive, you could be cutting this and beating this player. If you were in the goal, then you are in a good position to turn this into maybe a sidewall double touch or a touch up to the wall, recover, transition, right? Don't be in between. So like my approach to this is I'm trying to like tackle this, right? We doubled with a teammate. It's awkward. Instead of like straight up tackling that, we're just going to tackle it with defense. Mostly a twos player, playing some threes. I clicked on this link, so it looks like we're in collegiate, which is super cool. Super, super cool. I'm a big advocate for collegiate esports. Obviously, you are holding your teammates back, and that's just systematically you are. I mean, that's just what collegiate is a very weird environment because a lot of the teams are different ranks. A lot. I would comfortably say like 90+% of teams are different ranks. I worked with a team of an SSL and 2 Grand Champ 2s. There are hurdles to overcome. I'm not going to make this about team stuff. Maybe over time, though. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I've never seen you play. I'm going to have an open mind. I will keep in the back of my head how you fit. What role you fill. And I'll let you know if you're being silly. Really the biggest thing in terms of fit is... It's fine. Really the biggest thing in terms of fitting a team with rank differences is mechanics. Okay? Team chemistry will evolve over time the more you play. I'll let you know if you're definitely like mechanically off compared to teammates. But so far so good, man. You want to play the ball. You understand rotation to a degree. I know you mostly play twos. Good. I'm assuming you'll fall into a third man in this game, since teammates are going to be more aggressive, faster, a little bit more mechanical. But mechanically, you look fine. And you don't look paralyzed, which is good. I wouldn't overthink team stuff with rank differences. You don't look paralyzed. The worst problem that could have happened was you were afraid to play every single ball and you felt like you had to play an anchor role and whatever. It's so common if you have like a lower rank paired with higher ranks is they play an anchor role, which is like the worst thing you could do because you don't want your worst player in an anchor position. You look fine. So I'm going to tackle this individually. Fine. Couple bad challenges, but not to the point where like challenges are the biggest thing bugging me. Nothing is really bugging me. Good, man. And I'm just, none of this is coaching. You look fine, dude. I'm actually, you rotate fine, which is great. Sometimes there's a learning curve for someone who mains 1s or 2s and starts playing 3s. You rotate fine. You're chilling. You're absolutely chilling. If I could consolidate any mistakes, it would be on defense. Not just this one. There was another one. I'm just talking. Yeah. So let's, what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna like stick to a theme. We're gonna call it defense. This is where I'm at, and I'm just gonna like kind of jump the gun with this, so we could kind of have a good review with a lot of examples. If you are moving up the field, you're good. Is there solo play? No. You will build up to that, okay? That is a build. But, like, if it's your job to get the ball out of defense, whether it's a pass to a teammate, just literally getting the ball out of defense, you're moving up the field good. Okay, you're not overcomplicating it. Your rotations are good. You're not overusing a ball side rotation. You're not leaving rotation. For the most part, your play awareness is good. Literally up and back is good. Draw it better for you. Up and back. Once you get here, that's when we struggle. If I'm tackling an area on the field where you could like narrowly focus and actually see improvement, it's this transition back to a defensive position, and then what do we do here? What do we do here? But then if you survive this, you get the ball out. Fine, right? The theory, the overcomplication of this is, okay, if getting the ball out is good and this is good and we're not awkward, then if you clean up this, then you get to this position quicker and then you get to do the good stuff gooder. So I want to tackle this though. I think the only difference with 2s from 3s that you need to get in your brain is positions. I think you rotate fine and you want to play the ball, which is a strong thing about 2s, because 2s is like very ball chasey, especially as you move through like Grand Champ. So like I like our cuts on defense. I like when you are playing close to teammates. I like that. Like if you had a champion or grand champion 3s main and put them in 2s, like that 3s man would just be like back here the whole game. So like I like what's coming out of 2s, like following up teammates. I like all that, but instead of overthinking that, I want to straight up talk about, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to play back post in Grand Champ, but think about 3v3 defense as positioning, as zones. You're either here, or you're here. Okay? Let's narrow it down even more as a third, right? So, yeah, this gets a little Akko Taco. So, like, you're either here or you're here. You could think about it like the back post, or you could just think about it like the goal. I'd prefer you to think about it like the goal, or you're on backboard. Okay? And that's where we're gonna, like, we're literally just gonna talk about that. All right? It's defense. It's specifically zones. And it's specifically those 3 areas. I think the rest will happen naturally. and just kind of trust the process. That is, I would say, the only difference with 3v3 rotation versus 2v2 rotation is in threes, you're more so rotating to a zone where the ball is most likely going to be moved through, where in twos, everyone is controlling the ball. So you're often attacking or meeting players or following up teammates. In threes, it's a little bit more zoney. I don't want to say zone coverage, but I hope this makes sense. All right. Let me just find these examples and I'll break them down and then we'll let this play and keep it super simple. Think goal, think midfield, think backboard. Okay? Those are your 3 hot zones. All right. So, midfield, goal, or backboard. Well, it doesn't make sense to play backboard, right? If there's going to be a backboard, it's going to be this player. So you could play defensively in the goal or optimistically risky through the midfield. Okay? Like if you want to play for this, I 100% see that as an option. But try not to be in between. Like you're rotating back, you see this, and you're making your decision right now. Am I playing risk off or risk on? Instead of risk off, then risk on. Because then this is like delayed play timing. And that's why it's like you go midfield, you go goal, or you go backboard. Don't be in between. Because what it will avoid, and I'll show what it avoids, is it avoids this. If you were in the midfield already, and you're feeling yourself, you're aggressive, you could be cutting this and beating this player. If you were in the goal, then you are in a good position to turn this into maybe a sidewall double touch or a touch up to the wall, recover, transition, right? Don't be in between. So like my approach to this is I'm trying to like tackle this, right? We doubled with a teammate. It's awkward. Instead of like straight up tackling that, we're just going to tackle it with defense. Okay? Everything else, I'm not even going to talk about anything else, okay? Up the field, rotations, like no joke, man. Up the field, rotations across the goal line, ball side rotations. You're looking for demos. You're looking for cuts. Everything up the field on offense is chilling. We're just going to specifically focus on defense. So I'm not even going to talk about it. Did I say that? Like, we're just not, I'm going to push past the plays. Just keep, like, copy paste it. Keep doing what you're doing. All right. All good. All right. So, and I'm going to keep like relating it to twos. In twos, you'll push forward, right? Like, and what you're doing right now is totally fine. But in twos, like let's say this player is not here and you see this player, right? You may creep forward because this player is going to pre-jump 50 and you want to be close enough to pick it up. Or if they pre-jump and actually beat the player, you want to be close enough to follow them. Because that's like how twos is played. It's 50s, solo play, quick follow-ups, etc. But in threes, it's just a little bit of a different beast. There's a lot of forcing, etc. Where like people just throw themselves at the ball to force for a teammate. So we want to avoid this in between. You're either midfield or your goal or your backboard. You could play backboard. I wouldn't. That's just awkward based on how the play develops, right? You're already in the net. You could play midfield, but when you think about the game sense, why would you play midfield when your teammates don't have ball control, right? So the easy game sense is the goal. Easy. And the play worked out. Everything you did is totally fine, right? You push up, you reposition, all this works out. But what it avoids are the what ifs where this guy air dribbles it into the wall, it pinches out there, and now you're backwards and this player's shooting behind you. It avoids the what ifs. Okay. So a lot of what ifs, a lot of hypotheticals. And it avoids, like, I mean, for the most part, this is awkward. You don't want to be parallel parking in the net. You don't want that. All right. So we are midfield. We are goal. We are good. Perfect. Right? Promote this to where, you know, you were midfield, your goal, and now you're late. Not like super late, but no, I actually wouldn't say you're late. Scratch that. But like, it's a little bit more like steps 1, 2, 3. Okay, instead of like getting the jump, because that's what twos is. Twos is all about getting the jump on players. It's midfield, step 1. It's goal, it's step 2. Step 3 is start moving up, and then you play your ball, and now you're in a good position to actually do something. All right, we're on defense. You're either midfield, goal, or backboard. I'll keep saying the same thing over and over and over, right? So like now you're in, I call this the cone of death. You're not goal, but you're not midfield. But you shouldn't be midfield because this player would be the extension. You should be goal. That's overcomplicating this, but just, I would rather you think, instead of like overcomplicating the game sense, I'd rather you think, am I midfield? Am I goal? Am I backboard? Okay, like keep it like that. And then like over time, we build into the fancy sort of game sense. But what it does, it avoids this, okay? The double, triple dipping on plays. All right. This is fine. These plays aren't bad. Gonna be honest, man, there's a lot of in-between plays where, like, don't overthink them. Like I'm trying to fix this play. I'm trying to avoid this. But when it comes to like this, like, I don't really want you doing anything else because like you shouldn't no point in backboard, no point in goal because this player's rotating. So you are that close follow. Some of these plays are in between plays where like your 2v2-ness is shining. Same thing right here. Like you're not midfield, you're not goal, you're not backboard, but you're reading the play perfectly. And you dap it up to your teammate. So I would say, like, for the most part, follow what I'm saying, but also trust your instincts, trust your play read. All right. But I'm trying to avoid this. So this is fine. This is a good example. So I'm not trying to avoid this, but this is a good cut. As in, you're rotating. You are in the midfield. So, like, you're not trying to cut this when you're right here or right here. Not that you would be cutting it behind the ball in the net. But, like, you're in a good cut position. So this is the midfield. You're either here, here, or here. This is good. Right? Goal. Stay in the goal. It's that simple. Like, dude, playing goalie or playing back post defense is not fun. I'm not going to lie. But there's no point in you pushing out when your team doesn't have control of the ball. Just stay in the goal. All right, I'm going to let this play, dude. And the only other... This This is when stay in the goal. Okay, like your teammates on backboard, your teammates getting 50'd, stay in the goal because you're not in the midfield. If you're in the midfield, then you're in the midfield. Stay in the goal. We need someone in the goal. The other thing is, like, we never play backboard, but I haven't found, like, good moments when we should be backboard. I'm gonna let this play, dude. I think you get it. Just, like, I'll stop and start a couple more times. Right? Like, are you midfield? Stay in the midfield. Are you goal? Stay in the goal. Like, you're caught in between the moments. Like, just commit. Pick a zone and commit to it and just trust the zone. Because threes is like, there's a lot more moving parts, man. Like when you look at a play like this, it's like, oh, I have to turn and play it. But like, yeah, that would make sense in twos. But in threes, you have cutters, you have more teammates. So like Astron, whatever this dude's name is, could cut it. And that's what they actually do. So it's like literally just picking a zone was the best option. But in twos, you feel like you have to play the ball. Pick a zone. Demo. Stop. Goal. I know this play's awkward, man, but just you want my. I think you get it, but I think the tip that will kind of combine everything together is this: like your play awareness needs to start now. Like this is when you're thinking, am I going to the goal? Am I being annoying and cutting in the midfield? Instead of like rotating and then deciding to do it. Like try to get that awareness to start like right now. And it's either go backboard, go goal, or go mid and pick one. Good. Nice try. I wouldn't say you look like the weak link. Miscellaneous is you. I mean, I would assume you control the ball more in twos. You have a ton of open space, man, and we're just kind of not controlling the ball. But it's fine. That's like a miscellaneous comment. Like, you see what Ventus is doing? Like, straight up just get an air dribble, get an air dribble 50, get an air dribble reset, get a booming clear, and that's kind of all the mechs you need. To kind of hang at this level. Really, like, you just need an air dribble. Could look for more demos. There's a lot of things I could say about this, but I want to kind of keep it simple and keep it on the defense. And what it avoids is just all like kind of the panic clears or the panic jumps or the doubles. We can definitely build on this for sure. Totally fine. It's end of game. You're fine. It's a good play. Close one to end the game. You're fine, dude. I wouldn't, yeah. The only difference with your teammates, man, are they control the ball a little bit better. Only difference. We'll start with defense, see what happens. On the horizon, I don't know. I think we need ball control, but I felt like That's only 5 minutes of you as a player, but I feel like you're kind of a cutter, kind of a redirect, kind of a passer, kind of a boom player, kind of a faster player, not like a picture perfect ball control player. I'll have to see over time. I don't want to judge your play style in 5 minutes. Start with defense, man. I hope that helped.